Hey family, much love to my brothers and sisters in the spirit. Thank you for checking back with your sister. I hope all is well with many of you. I was sitting here earlier and I heard on the news that six um, teenagers in high school were shot. I don't know if any of them were murdered or anything. My mom was just telling me six of them got shot. I guess they were injured in California. Here we go again. This endless cycle of senseless killing. Our children, our babies, they have no identity. Their self-esteem is so low, and many of them are bullied. You know, it's still no excuse, but many of them choose to lash out and, you know, retaliate. I feel due to bullying, feeling less than, shall I say, whatever's going on with them, it really put them in a dark place, and they choose to go back to the school, retaliate, and kill. And a lot of time, it's just anybody who gets in their way. It's really sad. Family, it's okay to be different. Many people don't know how to take being different, especially when they feel picked on and belittled, okay, made fun of, called names. If it wasn't for all of that, people can deal with being different. They can deal with it just fine, being true to themselves, they're not followers. They're just unique human beings that just happen to be different. But due to being picked on, you know, and a host of other things being done to them, it can really push some people over the edge. And it's sad because I've always been different. I'm sure many of you can relate. Looking back over your life, for me, I've always been different. Like now, before I even drink my water, I pray over it. I bless it. This water is not going down without me blessing it. I love you. I speak life. I speak healing. I speak wholeness, well being, and purification. I speak abundance of love, abundance of healing, abundance of inner peace. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you. Of course, I do it once, but then I drink my water. I don't trust this company either, okay? But I do trust the words coming out of my mouth because we know our words are energy and it, though the energy, uh, the vibration, that's what's going to, change the water, okay, in my favor. I pray for those children that they are okay. I pray for many of you if you've been affected by the shooting of these teenagers in this high school in California. I pray that your loved ones are safe and okay at that school. I want to real quick talk about being different and how there's so much freedom when it comes to being different. When I make my videos, I know that, these videos, not only are they therapy for me, but I know that by many of you watching me, you choosing to watch me, you watching me for a reason, and I feel like there are no coincidences. If you're not having the experiences I'm having, you know somebody who is, let me just say. And for the most part, you can relate. Coming up, I've always been different as far as I've never been a follower. And I truly feel like that has been one of the things that's really saved my life coming up, shall I say. Um, I never hung with the popular crowd. Okay, the real popular crowd. I knew some of them. I knew some of them. Okay, and I was cool with some of them, but I didn't hang around with them. I didn't even. It's like there are three groups. You have the popular, you have the ones in the middle that's cool with the popular, and they're cool with those who are not popular. Those are the ones you might call the gothic type uh, group, shall I say? You know, with all the black and they paint their nails and all of that, as well as those who maybe be on the heavy set and they're not considered as popular, the nerds and all of that. These are the ones I consider in this group right here. The middle group is someone who can hang with either or. You know, you're cool with either or, and you know, you're not judging no one, but you choose to stay in your own lane. You know, if somebody on the popular group is cool with you, you're cool with them. You know, you talking all that, but you don't hang with them. You know, but you get along with them, shall I say? And of course, when it comes to the other group, you know, the people for the most part look down on, they don't really be bothered with. I was cool with them too. If I'm in the classroom with them and I'm sitting with them, I'm cool with them too. I've always been the middle person, but still, I never really fit in either or. You know, I'll just correct, but I still felt different. Just like I'm sure the ones, you know, that were in the other group, okay, I'm sure they felt different as well. They felt like they didn't fit in. But anyway, looking back on it, that was the best place to be. Being different and not fitting in. That was the best place to be, family, looking back. Because for one thing, you're not a follower. I know for me, I wasn't. And no matter who I was around, you know, I would always rely on my intuition as far as if I had some friends that wanted to do something that I didn't really want to do, I didn't do it. You know, I would lie, I make up something, you know, but I wouldn't follow them. You know, that's them. You know, I had friend girls that were having sex back then in junior high, you know, and I knew this, but I was a virgin and I was still friends with them. But as far as me hanging with them, you know, while they go hang around them boys and stuff, that wasn't me. I go home, you know. I just pretty much stayed in my own lane and I thought for myself. And for the most part, when you're different, you're someone who thinks outside the box and you think for yourself. You're not a follower, okay? You just pretty much you really stands out when you're different. Because when you're a follower, you don't stand out. But when you choose to distance yourself from a group, you stand out because you're over there and everybody else is over here. And for the most part, they're talking about you. Not everybody, but for the most part, they're talking about you. And does it hurt because you know they're talking about you? Yes, it does. But you just keep on keeping on. Now that I'm older, I'm an adult. Um, I still look back on it and I'm grateful that I was someone who thought for myself. I was someone that wasn't a follower. Don't get me wrong, I've had moments, you know, oh, well, maybe, you know, this lane right here seems kind of not so cool. Maybe I need to hang with more of the popular kids. But even when I tried to hang with them, I still felt out of place because the way they would carry themselves, everybody was just so much into materialistic things, you know, talking about their bags, their, you know, jewelry, and a lot of superficial things that really just didn't interest me, even back then, you know. Talking about the girls were talking about, you know, trying to get with the popular boy and of course, I mean, it was just, the conversation was, it just was not soothing me, shall I say, you know. I just wasn't feeling it. And I couldn't wait to itch back over there, back in my lane, shall I say. I just felt out of place, you know. Um, my mom never raised me wearing designer clothes. Did I want them? Yes. But you can't miss what you never had. And the fact that she wasn't buying me the designer clothes, the designer bags, the cute little Fendi bags, which was really popular back in the days, you know, um, Dooney bags and all of that. And I wanted them so bad, the Agony bag. But my mom would not buy me those kind of pocketbooks. She would not do it. And if I did, and I think I had one Agony bag, but it was used. I had got it from a thrift store. And I was so proud to have that bag because to me, it was at least leather and it was designer. But anyway, I was the one that was in the group. They didn't, I still looked attractive looking, nice looking. And I had the personality to try to fit in, if I wanted to. But I wasn't feeling the family. I wasn't feeling it. And my clothes, they weren't designer as well. So just from that perspective, I felt out of place. So, that's another reason that made me want to run back over there in the group that I was in because the group that I was in, we weren't rocking designer clothes, and wearing all that jewelry, all that gold and all this mess. We wasn't doing none of that, you know. We wasn't carrying the appearance as far as trying to keep up, okay, as far as trying to keep up and just to fit in, shall I say, and be fake. I could just be myself around the group that I was in. So that's what I loved about it. But I still felt different. And I'm sure they did too. But just the fact that I could hang with anybody, any group, that made me feel good. And that's the place that I wanted to be in. I wanted to be balanced. I didn't want to be so much over here that I was losing myself, losing my identity of who I was as a person. But anyway, moving forward, we have this Facebook. Okay, we have this Facebook, and I have a lot of people I went to school with. They are my friends on Facebook. I haven't been family. I haven't been on Facebook, and I don't know when. And you know what? I feel so liberated by distance myself from Facebook. I would say I don't know. It's been over 6 months. I cannot tell you how long it's been since I've been on Facebook, but it was the best decision I ever made. You know, Um, I was fine. To me, I'm 48 years old, and it felt like high school again. You know, because I had people that were on my Facebook. You know, that were friends. That I have added as friends. I had them on there, and I'm watching them, and you know, um, when I came to my spiritual awakening and I started coming to the place of knowing and just having this sixth sense of, you know, uh, just having this deep um, feeling, just deep knowing when it comes to people, shall I say, feeling deeply, I knew when a lot of them were lying. I just knew when a lot of them were lying when they were talking about, it's like they be smiling, but on the inside they're crying. On the inside, you know, they are depressed. It's like everybody had the fake smile. The look at me now, look what I have. I didn't have much then, but look at me now. It's like everybody was trying to be something that they was not. Everybody was pretty much wearing a mask, and it was a short time. I found myself trying to wear a mask because I had people watching me too. And I didn't want to, look as though, my life hasn't improved since high school. And I'm like, you know what? I'm too old for this. I don't want to be fake. I want to be just current. I'm happy that everybody's doing good, but I also know everybody's not doing so good mentally, emotionally, as well as spiritually, because I see it. I picked up on this. And and then I had family members that was also doing wonderful. But then I can see also, a lot of them, was coming off like, look at me, look at my accomplishments, look at me. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm happy for everybody, but I'm going to distance myself and take myself out of this equation because this feels like high school. It feels like high school, and I didn't like that feeling. As happy as I was for everybody who, who have all these wonderful achievements and accomplishments. I feel like everything didn't need to be displayed before the world, shall I say. I thought about that verse, gain the whole world, lose your soul. It's like you want everybody to accept you and to see, you now, as though you wasn't somebody before, you came into your, accomplishments. You know, um, I don't know, it just felt very fake on Facebook, and I wanted to distance myself because I didn't want to lose myself also. And it was the best decision I could ever make. But I remember before I had distanced myself, I decided to do some readings. Now, I was hesitating because I know here on my platform, I speak about my spiritual awakening as well as share my testimony, as far as things I've been through and how I came to my spiritual awakening and how I overcome, because in the beginning, I was dealing with dark night of the soul and I had to go through some obstacles, to get to where I am now. And I still have, you know, my trial tribulation like everybody else, but I deal with things one day at a time, But the point I'm trying to make is I wanted to be me, be authentic me, the me that I am now, the me that many of them don't know nothing about. I wanted to express that on Facebook. And I know they have a lot of groups on Facebook and all of that, but on my channel, I want everybody to see what's going on with Corinne, in the present. And so I decided to upload a post saying, I would do some readings for many of you if you would like. And actually, I was saying free readings, and, you know, I could take a picture. I don't know how many likes, I don't know how many comments when it comes to my picture. Or I can just do a regular post talking about something. I get a lot of likes and I get a lot of, acknowledgement as far as people commenting. But when I had posted about I would do some readings, for anyone who's interested, it's like it got quiet. And I know they saw the post, and I'm sure they were thinking, especially those who are really religious, they take this witchcraft and all of this mess. I really don't know how people perceive it, and maybe someone was just shocked that I would post something like that. I had one girl, name was a girl. I had one sister, one woman from school that had hit me up, and out of everybody, I would say about 5 people had hit me up, but one of them was somebody from um, when I had went to school. We grew up together. Um, and she had hit me up, and I was shocked. And she said, "I would like a reading." She had inboxed me, and the information that I was getting about her, I like to meditate on people. I was kind of hesitant to, share the information that I had received about her because it was real personal. But something inside of me said, "Be true to thyself." If it's the information that you have, share it with her. The worst thing can happen is she say, "You know what, thank you, but this is not accurate." That's the worst thing that can happen. And I say, this feel like high school. Let me start worrying about what people think. Let me just be true to myself. Out of my spiritual awakening came this gift of knowing I'm going to share it with your sister. Okay, I put it out there. If anybody want a reading, she was one of the ones that responded, so I went ahead and did her reading, and I shared it with her. Okay, and it was a little personal, you know. Um, and I'm not gonna get into what it was, but she could be watching, But I'm very confidential, I don't put people's business out there, It stays with me, okay. But anyway, so I waited. And she responded to me that day, later on that day. I think she had to take the information in, but she hit me back. And I forgot what she said word for word, but she was like, I appreciate you doing the reading for me. And, she just saying how she was just amazed. You know, she didn't use the word accurate, but she just, I'm saying, what word did she use? I'm trying to remember. But she said something like, she said something to the extent of, "Thank you for the reading. I appreciate it. And yes, you were very spot on. You were spot on about a lot of things. And you gave me something to think about. That's what she said. And I was like, you're welcome, sister. Anytime, Um, I wish you much love and blessings, And she said, thank you so much for the reading. I appreciate it. And but it made me feel so good. It made me feel so good. I had to really, you know, uh, rely on what I knew, okay, and trust the information that was given to me through my readings and give it to her and not act on fear, you know, due to me worrying about what she thinks about me, and as well as what she think about the reading as far as me giving it to her. I had to just, do it. But the point I'm trying to make is when you're different, you stand out. A lot of people saw that post. I had no family member responded to me. They saw the post. For the ones who are on Facebook, they saw it. They didn't respond to me. They didn't even hit me up on uh, the inbox. They didn't even inbox me saying, girl, what's this? You do readings now. I didn't get any of that. But this is something I'm passionate about and I like to do it. And still, it's okay for them to share their accomplishments, but none of them, you know, responded to me doing the readings. They stayed quiet about it. It was though they didn't know what to say, and, and that's okay, but the fact that my family, didn't really acknowledge me doing that, you know, I said, you know what, I need to take a step back. I need to take a step back and, and there were other people that I considered family also that were, I considered that were, I'm not gonna say friends, but I would say associates, people I've known for a long time. Any other time they would respond, but they didn't respond, when it came to that. And maybe they didn't want me in their business, because you can pick up information um, about people that you might not want to share with them, and they might not want you to know. 'Cause a lot of times you can do reading on them, and other information pops up, so you have to be very cautious of what you put out there, because people think you can use the information against them, and that's something that we should not do. So you have to be very selective about what you say. But, just that alone made me want to also distance myself from Facebook because I wanted to truly be me and be authentic me. And I said also, by me being on here and me trying to let my family and my friends and associates know, where I am now in the present, I wouldn't really get the support. Okay. I wouldn't get the support that I need as far as, people who love me and, they're supporting me along the way. The hell with the likes. It's the feedback that I was looking for. And I didn't get that. The support of the feedback. I didn't get that at all. So somebody say, Corinne, stay in your lane. And I thought about high school, stay in my lane, 'cause that's where I feel comfortable at. So that's one of the reasons I got off of Facebook. When it comes to my family members, I can see them anytime. They have my phone number, I have their phone number. But Facebook, no, no. I decided to distance myself from Facebook, and that was the best. That was the best thing that I could ever do. I feel so free, to continuously be in me, share my experiences. And if anybody want to know anything about me, I say seek, so shall you find. Okay, if they are seeking, if they're having experience, they'll end up, you know, having to maybe my video feed will pop up on YouTube and they will, find me that way. 'Cause my dad found me. I was shocked. I did a Black Sea War video and my dad found me. So my dad could be watching this video, but he was like, I didn't know you was on YouTube. I said, yeah, dad, I do videos on YouTube. But anyway, um, I say family when it comes to your support system. Stick with spiritual like-minded brothers and sisters who gets you. Don't try to force anything on people because when you don't get a response back, you're going to feel some type of way. And maybe the response you do get back, you still going to feel some type of way because it might not be what you were hoping for. You might not get no response at all. Or you might get a response, people think you're crazy. you're a witch, or you're doing witchcraft and all this foolishness. The support is everything, but you have to, you know, when it comes to, you know, this spiritual awakening, and when it comes to things of your interest, I say stick with spiritual like-minded brothers and sisters. Your business is not for Facebook. Everything you do should not be for Facebook, because a lot of time people are laughing at you. Okay, they're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you. And a lot of times people are just nosy. They're just nosy. They just want to see what you're talking about. And it's a lot of hee hee ha ha, when they get together in their little groups to talk about you, for the most part. It's pretty much like high school all over again, and that's what I try to stay away from. It feels good to stay in my own lane, being my own person, thinking for myself, okay? Not being a follower. You don't know about trying to please nobody. The only person you should be in competition with is yourself. Try to be the best you can possibly be. Every day, try to strive to be the best you that you can be. But I just want to share this little, you know, going back memory lane with many of you to let you know, your sister, I've come a long way, and I just want many of you to see how, important it is to me, and why I say being different is a good thing. You know, being a follower, you lose your identity being a follower. But when you're different, you stand out. People notice you, and they might not even say anything to you. They might not hit likes. They might not even leave a comment, but you stand out. They saw you. Oh, they saw you. When my grandmother had passed, one of my one of my childhood friend had came over to show, to give her condolence. And we hugged, we talked. And you know what she said? She said, "Yeah, I saw that post that you put up." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Which one?" She said, "Yeah, we were talking about giving out readings." So, see what I'm saying, family? They see them. They silent, because a lot of times they don't know what to say, because they're kind of shocked, like, what she's talking about. She said, "Yeah, I saw that post you put up." She was too going through some things during that time, and I'm sure she presently still is. She said, "I came so close, of inboxing you so you can give me a reading about a situation that I was going through." And she went ahead and shared with me what that was. But that's between she and I. And I told her, I said, "Oh yeah, I would have been happy to help you had you inbox me." But for some reason, she didn't want to at that time. I guess she didn't want me in her business. It's not so much she didn't believe that I couldn't do what it is that I said I can do. But a lot of time people just, for whatever reason, they won't reach out, but they do see you. They see you. I love you in Christ, family. Being different is liberating. You get to where you don't care about what people think, and that's freedom, period. And you living your best life, being authentic, being you. And let me say this real quick. Since I was young, since I was like, what, I think fifth or sixth grade, I used to have a curl in my hair. So it's been a long time when I actually saw my actual texture of my hair, because I've always had chemicals in my hair, having jerry curls and all this mess. I went from a jerry curl to a wave nouveau. Hold on, family. Junior high, I had a curl in my hair. 10th grade, I had a curl in my hair. 11th grade, 12th grade, I had a perm in my hair. The point I'm trying to make is, it took, I probably say I started wearing chemicals in my hair, okay, I finally get in my early 40s. I stopped, had to go through a transition because I was so scared to be natural. Okay, being my authentic self. So as you see, it's a process. I remember I remember having my hair wrapped and I was at McDonald's at the drive-through, and I remember a young man, a nice, handsome young man, to the drive-through, and he was like, "Look at you, you wearing them wraps on your hair." I said, "Yeah, I like wearing the wraps on my around my hair, around my head." He's like, "Yeah, my mama wear them too." He said, "But her hair," she said, "she wear them because her hair all nappy. She's trying to cover it up." I smiled. He's young, and some people do. Everybody wear wraps for many reasons. I wear them for fashion reasons, but to each their own. I say, yeah, I smile, but it's sad that how people perceive you, as though me being a, brown skinned melanin sister, that my naturalness is a bad thing. He was like, yeah, my mom, wears them because she's trying to cover up that nappy head of hers. And I'm thinking to yourself, so I guess you think I'm trying to cover my nappy head up too. I felt kind of a little offended a little bit, but I was like, yeah, I hear you. But you know what? Now I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it. I'm not wearing, my wigs and wearing my chemicals in my hair as far as perm. Now I'm embracing my own hair. And you know what? It's sad. I'm 48 years old and I haven't seen my natural hair in years due to trying to be something I wasn't, due to trying to still fit in, you know, as far as how, you know, the environment, how people perceive you, what they think is, cool or natural or that's trending, shall I say. I say like what you like. I still like wigs. I wear them if I feel like wearing them. But right now, I'm enjoying being me, being authentic me in every shape and form. Sometimes you'll see me wearing a cap on my head or a hat or a scarf or whatever. Or you just see me in my naturalness. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If I cannot get to the point of loving myself, being authentic, how am I going to attract the right person to me that's going to love me authentic? Now, I can keep myself up, I can keep my hair up, and I can wash, condition, and wrap my hair up, as you see, and step out being me, being the authentic me that I am. And I give a hoot. Who cares? Love yourself, family. It's okay to be different. You stand out. And please know people notice you. Whether they say something to you or not, they notice.